got Tim Clark and Stiofan. Did I get that right? Sort of. And they're going to be talking to us basically about how they built the plugin and just about some of its uses. So please give a warm welcome to the guys from GeoDirectory.
My name's Tim. I'm from a company called Bit Design. Can you hear me alright? Is that I'm from Bit Design. I design geolocation-based directories amongst loads of other things. This is Stiofan, who designed, built, and is the product developer or main developer for the GeoDirectory plugin. You have to bear with me because I've not done this before. So we've set up a demo site if anyone wants to log in, forfind.co.uk, and you can see on there we've just got a straightforward username and password. You can set up, have a little play, add listings on the front end, whatever you like on there, feel free. Just try not to break it. We're going to be going through the history of GeoDirectory, why it was built as a plugin, installation, configuration, availability, its usage, the add-ons that you can get, making money, and hopefully we'll have time for questions and answers. A GeoDirectory, it is based on searching for something where and getting the results that are based on geographic location. Really simple, really straightforward. I know there's lots of directories out there. And probably don't know this, but not as well, not in this way. I'm going to hand you over to Stiofan, who's come quite a long way today, to basically give you an outline of why he built the GeoDirectory plugin and where it's actually come from.
Thanks very much, Tim. Hopefully we'll get through this. The history of GeoDirectory, you can't start off mentioning GeoDirectory without mentioning GeoTheme, which was the original product. This evolved from me building a accommodation directory in my local community. I started off without WordPress, just standard HTML, moved on to things like CodeIgniter. Is there anybody in here who's used CodeIgniter? Yeah, a couple of people. Well, how many developers are in here? Your hands up if you're a developer. Yeah, so 50-50. Cool. What do you think of CodeIgniter? Does anybody like it? Does anybody still use it? No, me neither. Yeah, started off, I think it was a good few years ago, used CodeIgniter. Then I was looking for a directory script. I've been using WordPress a lot more since then, so I decided to look for a business directory script. Came across a few, not very many good ones out there. Ended up settling on one. It wasn't working, people weren't supporting it. I ended up doing all the fixes for the support forum for another company, and then started putting all my fixes in their own product without any credit, so eventually ended up, we made our own directory GeoTheme. And I've built many sites with it, mainly to do that accommodation site, which is not listed there. Why it became a plugin, thank you Tim. Freedom to use any theme you like. With a plugin rather than a theme, you can just have that freedom to choose the design you want to right off, and then add in the functionality of our product. It's easier to customize, far easier to customize than any sort of theme that you want to do. Easy updates. It's going to be on WordPress.com, so we'll be able to get your updates straight from the repository there, and available through WordPress. It's a lightweight framework that we want people to be able to build on. We want to get developers involved in it and have them develop their own third-party products for it. WooCommerce, has anybody used that, heard of that? I'm sure a lot of you have used it. We want to kind of know the history of that at all? Yeah? Well, I'm sure you know there's a lot of kind of third-party products for that as well. We want to kind of go the way they went. They're the kind of main shopping cart for WordPress. We want to be the main kind of directory site for WordPress and kind of go on from there. Let developers build their own apps for it. Let us sell our own apps for it. That's always good. Basically work with developers and users to make it the best directory site out there. We have to wait for the fancy graphics. Once you've downloaded the plugin, it's simply just go in and install it. Very easy to install. Then this is the screen you'll be presented with once you've installed it. And there's basically 3 things you have to do upon installing it. It'll ask you to set up a main location. So you're going to need a location for your business directory, be it your hometown or wherever it is you want the main location. Then you'll go in and set the homepage to your GeoDirectory homepage, and then we'll go on to dummy data. Then you'll install your dummy data, and have this option just to get you progressing through the installation quicker. You don't want you have to go in and start making your own listings. Installing the dummy data just lets you see how it's all ordered. I'll let you go in and edit things, just gets you there a lot quicker. Is this backdating?
Right, once you've actually installed the plugin, this is what the front end page, it won't look exactly like this, but it'll look something like this because it depends on which theme you're using with it. Essentially, just to reiterate that it is available from WordPress.org. There is add-ons, and we're interested in people who are interested in contributing to it in plugins and alike. So please feel free to talk to us if anyone's got any ideas. I'm going to slightly turn around at this point because I had an eye operation yesterday and that's making my eyes go funny. I'm going to point to this over here if you don't mind. The usage for this product are for company locations. So you could have, for argument's sake, a retail outlet that has multiple stores around the country or world, and they can have basically different outlets pointing on there. You can have images on there, lots of different data. Specialist directories, which I do quite a lot of. I've got one myself, which I actually started off as a because I was asked by the guys to help out in the forums as a technical assistant. I started on a specialist directory because GeoDirectory, which the guys have created, is in the back end of it. It is quite complex to set up and to get your head around all the different functions that you can have. So I had to have something to refer back to basically answer forum questions. People on the forums are great. The questions we get are superb. I wouldn't even go there. But basically, I needed something to do. Then my nephew came on to stay with me and really liked what we'd done, and actually took it on as a business from there. It wasn't meant to be a business. It was just set up just purely as a demo. Then took it on as a business and started contacting people and getting them to come onto the directory and actually pay for listings, which then put me in a position where I had to spend more time working with the development, which, is fine. Local business directories is probably the biggest use, I would say, individually. A lot of people that like their area will set up a website for local business. And it can be anything as silly as like the high street, put listing all the places within your high street and actually putting a geo tag to them where they are, ratings and reviews and things like that. Associations and clubs. I've just completed an American bike racing website, which is where they all meet. They put exactly where they meet on there with geolocation. They put pictures of the teams, the clubs. He's actually not earning money through sponsorship, funny enough, because there's an awful lot of sponsorship within sport, and they do tend to pay quite good money. Tourist guides is another one where we get tourist guides. When I say tourist guides, Thailand's a prime one. I think it's the highest one we have, where they have hotels, restaurants, destinations, and they all put pretty much the same thing on it. It's always that little hotel checker, so they earn money through, checking to see whether there's availability for you, and events, which is probably the second biggest after places, but it's a massive scenario. Events, with the current product you can actually put on events, which it's an interesting one because you can put them and you can tie them to a place. You can have them recurring so they happen every week. You can have them so that they happen every month. You can charge people for these listings if you set up your directory correctly. There's a lot of ways of actually doing this. And a global directory, as I've got in the middle, and the reason we've got it in the middle is to make sure that people realise that this isn't just a product that you can use locally for the clubs and all the other users that I said. It is something that you can have, which is, you can build it up like a Yelp, which started in California and started extending its areas, is exactly the same as that. How you use it is up to you, and it's very, very flexible. Can be used as an add-on to any existing WordPress site, or as a directory on its own. It's fine, it will work in both ways. Compatibility, Paul's here somewhere, he's tried it. You tried it with Genesis? Right, yeah. I've tried it with a few. We're going to have hiccups, but it's brand new. You can't get it now. You'll be able to get it soon. We're not pressing the button because we're still ironing out creases. If people want a copy of it, contact us, and you're all going to help us test it as well as hopefully earn money on it yourselves. What can it do? This is what it comes with a standard. We have ratings and reviews. That in itself, I'm sure a lot of you use systems like this. We all know WordPress well for commenting. Ratings and Google schema are a little bit up and down sometimes, but essentially it makes your listings come up very well in the search engines. Everyone likes to see a listing of their website with some nice little gold stars by it. Your eyes are drawn to it. It does work. It's horrible, but that's the way Google works. It uses them itself. With ratings, you can add, as a user, as a visitor to your website, you can not only leave a comment, but you can also rate. And you'll notice on this, I'm pointing the wrong way because I'm saying, you notice on this that you can remove from your favourites. There's a section where you can add to your favourites, which I'll show you in a minute as well, which is quite good. The whole idea is to engage with your users as much as possible. There's a notifications area in there. The reason that's in the plugin is because you need to know when someone's left a comment on your website. Obviously you want to know when you've managed to sell a listing. You can take payments on the website, so not with the standard version I must say, but you want to know when you received the payment. So the notifications area is something that's going to be extended quite a lot, isn't it? Something that's going to be worked on. Images, videos, special offers. That's something which on the front end, someone wanting to list on your website can actually add those in. So you can say to someone privately, say you're allowed to upload 5 images, 1 image. Same with videos and special offers. And also people who come to your, let's say you're doing an event, and someone goes to your event and they want to take a photograph of that event. As we all know, everyone's into their selfies at the moment. You can actually take a picture of yourself at an event, and also you will be able to upload that from the front end as a user. So hopefully engage with people a lot more. Google Analytics, that's all that is basically if someone's listed onto your website using Google Analytics, when they're logged in, they will be able to see how many people have viewed their page within the directory. So it'll give them a few stats, quite basic, but it'll give them a few stats on exactly the type of visitors you've got there on there, and to prove that it's working. Custom search, that has to be in there. That's something which, I don't know if you guys know, but custom post type types are not actually searched by WordPress standard. So it kind of has to be, we had to put one in there purely to go with this, so that the custom post types that we're dealing with here are actually searched properly. And there's a few really good features on there. I was going to do a live demo of it, but I've been put off of doing that, so I'm not doing that. My favourites, another one for engaging with people. Come over here, okay? You'll see that there is an add to favourites button next to a listing. That listing is actually from a category page, so not from an actual. So if you went on to that Morimoto, you would get a lot more detail. And like I said, I'm avoiding showing that. But you would open that up and then you could have, that's just a short excerpt of the listing. You'd have a lot more detail to the listing. When you add it to favourites, a user, you can say this is a favourites page here. A user will actually have a panel where they can log in and log out. Same as a lot of WordPress dashboard, but it adds in the custom post types in there. You've got my places down there if they advertise, and you have your favourites there. I like that feature. When you go onto my favourites, you click on it, and you have a little page with all the things that you've liked. It works very well. Custom post fields. Great. Love them in WordPress. When you put the dummy data on and you install the plugin, you have these in here as standard. It comes as part of it. You have in there the standard things that every directory is going to want, but you also have the ability to add to that. And this is one of the key things about creating a good website. Any good website has individual content that is specific to that website. Lots of people, in fact most people, think they can just copy data. I'm not going to use the words and terminologies that we get thrown at us, but basically there's a strange way where they grab exactly someone else's website and they reuse it. And at the end of the day, they're not doing themselves any favours. You have to be individual. Any good website is individual. And you have to offer something else that other people aren't doing. This gives you the ability to do it. This gives you the ability to actually turn around and say to someone, look, I'm going to give you more data than anyone else, because it is about data really at the end of the day. Where your custom post types, post fields, will be shown is on front end where the listing is. There's no styling run to this at all. This is just chucked straight on top of a basic theme. So I did the theme itself. It's just underscores bootstrap, very basic, and that's how it comes up. So there's a lot of flexibility in it for design. And ideas in there. There is add-ons available, and those add-ons will be chargeable. At the moment, if you actually go on, you join the old website, you get this, don't you? So it's going to be cheap, but I'm not going to sell it to you, but that's, I'll show you that actually. That's all my space is. Events are massive, as I said to you before. Events are, as a plugin, it's a really good way of not only creating a directory, it's getting users to come back, and people that go to events to see your website. It's something that I really recommend for doing. Multi-location is superb on this. I love it, I really do. The idea of multi-location is that in the old way you used to have to go and find this data. So someone creating a directory has to go and find all the postcodes, all the towns, and put it into something to get the listings. Because when you're going on the website, you're searching what and where, you're saying where things are. So you have to assign all the listings to that place. With this latest version, you actually take the point of interest marker and drag it to where you want it on the map, and it gives you that data. So it's, I used to literally sit there, there's loads of tools out there, GeoDirectory, GPS locator, where you can go on and put in a spreadsheet and it'll throw back all the longitude and latitude. That does it for you, so it's really good. The bit that you need to know is making the prices and payments. A lot of people get listings in different ways on directories. You can either give them free of charge and hope for revenue to come in other ways. With this, you can actually set your pricing depending on what you're giving people. So you can have a free listing which has basically an address, a phone number, all the data that you want as a minimal. You can then give them the featured listing, which would then say have a link to their website, or they can have more images. And then you have a premium listing where you can basically do other things for them. So you can give them videos, you can give them analytics. So it's up to you what you want to set based on the price package. You can create these price packages as well. So you can have as many of these as you like, and for different types of listings as well. So it's not purely based on the places. It can also be done for events. So, and it's also one of the big things that takes the work out of actually building a directory is recurring payments. PayPal is brilliant with that. If you take regular payments, let's say you charge someone, you manage to get £30 for a year's listed. At the end of that year, you can then take the money again without contacting that customer. And that's what PayPal can do for you. There's another service as well, I can't remember the name of it.
To check it, does it?
Yeah. So we might integrate more, but at the moment you can use several payment service providers with this. There is a list, you can have a look if you go on the website, you'll see which ones are actually currently available. And you can customise all of those packages. Essentially, it has a section for dynamic custom posts, but we decided not to talk about it, post types, because it's a big subject, and I'm sure a lot of you have built different post types, but the idea of it is it's a different way to split up the directory. So it gives you more ability than just creating a category. You can actually create a top level post type. Multi-ratings and reviews. You can have, with multi-ratings, it's not really multi-reviews, it's multi-ratings. With multi-ratings, you can actually have multiple, your little Google schema markup. So you can have a place that is rated on its quality of food, its service, its price. So you can add on, and that's what multi-ratings lets you do. Market clusters is something where you get, a lot of people build a map, and they'll have a map and they'll have something like 1,000 markers in a very tiny area, and they'll want to add and add listings. And what market clusters does for you is it gets all of those markers on the map, the point of interest markers, and it combines them into one marker and puts a number on it of the volume of listings within that area. So if you have 1,000 markers on a page, it will put 1,000 on one marker, and then when you zoom in, it will break it down into other markers. So really good for the eye. Claim listings are a marketing tool. They're very good. The idea of a claim listing. You go out and you get the data, and you fill up your directory. And what you then do is, once you've filled up your directory, you need to get them to come and spend money. You need to pay them, pay for that listing. With claim listings, you can actually email these. And we do marketing campaigns where we send out maybe 1,000 emails at a time from the website. And we get about 10% conversion rate. So about 10% of the people coming back on from the emails are actually saying, look, I'm prepared to spend, you see, was it 15 or 30 pounds on a specialist marketing website. They come back and they spend the money. So it's not very labour intensive doing it that way. It's not as good as actually doing it in a personal way. And I Stefan gets a much higher conversion rate, but then he's offering personal service. You speak to people, don't you?
Yeah.
So you will always get a bit of conversion rate, but some people are after numbers. And that to me is a great tool. I'm going to hand you back to Stefan, who's going to explain to you the last ones, because I've not actually played them. Yeah? So he's going to be able to explain the last few there. And, here we go.
Thanks very much. Is there anybody actually is doing a business directory themselves, have a kind of live business directory yet? Would this be something that would be interest to you, or?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going live with it in 2 weeks, so.
Sounds good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, talking to Bob about it, we can hopefully. Have you built something already, or?
Using another plugin.
Another plugin?
Yeah. Satellite.
Sorry?
Satellite, Code Canyon.
He says it's shit.
Sorry.
Well, both of you get chat and get talking about that. How are you selling your listing direct to the customers, or are you looking for advertising space? Or?
It's directory listings, which we're going direct to them before sending letters and following up calls.
Yeah. Have you started doing any of the calls yet?
The letter's going out in 2 weeks, so that's what I mean by that, so
Ah,
I'm
really?
doing 3 days after that.
That's interesting. I started my business directory. I'm off track even. Started my business directory. The first question is, well, who else have you got on board? You've got this empty directory sitting there. And that's always the first question. Who have you got on board? Who else has signed up? So mine's very much accommodation based.
Yeah.
So I went around all the hotels. I said to them, I'm giving you a free listing for a year. If you like it, great. If you don't at the end of the year, it's not cost you anything. Set them all up. They're all singing, all dancing directory listing. Breathe. And then when I phoned up self-catering, B&Bs, it'd be who else have you got on board? All the hotels have already signed up. And they're like, all the hotels have already signed up. I should get involved in this. Great tip, right? But I'll try and carry on. Where did we leave off? Advanced search filters. This would be a good one for you as well. For example, I'll use my website as an example. I have accommodation, so I can list for hotels, self-catering. I can add in custom post, not custom post type, custom field. I can add in a custom field saying, do you have Wi-Fi? Do you allow dogs? Things like that. And then you can go to the advanced search filters and you can tick that. I only want to search hotels that have Wi-Fi and allow dogs, and it'll just return them listings. And then you can reduce it even further. If you put in a postcode, you want it near a certain postcode, you can just list them by order of postcode, and you can reduce the distance as well, so maybe 10 miles, 30 miles. It's awesome product, and very useful. Search auto-completer. It's quite self-explanatory. Just if you're searching for a listing, if you're searching for a certain hotel, you start typing in, so it's going to come up. It's very simple but effective. Ajax duplicate alert. That's basically if you're adding a listing to your website, or a customer is adding a listing to your website, and they start typing in the name of their accommodation, and it's already there, it'll tell them this accommodation is already listing. Please go here and claim it. So if you've already added a basic listing in for them, it's just got a short description and one picture, and they try to add it, it stops all the kind of duplicate posts you might get. Extended support. Was I to do that, or was I you?
Hi. I actually currently do the support for the old product, and extended support is important for any products, especially something like this. It's something that we find that people go off and they end up coming back. They pay for extended support. It's not expensive if you use it and you use it properly. I spend a lot of my time telling people it's very basic things on the support forum, but we also get to the point where we're not prepared to customise for you. That's not what extended support's there for. But at the end of the day, if you get hold of the forum and you say, look, I'm having a problem with my website, anyone who deals with extended support, ideally they should be getting involved in it and not just leaving you to it. Everyone's got a varying amount of skills, and obviously a lot of people in here are, highly skilled. But you still have problems because of the complexity of the product sometimes. So it's very important to actually make sure that as part of the support, whether you're doing it for your own customers or for here, that you actually turn around and you're prepared to get their login details, you're prepared to get their MTP, you're prepared to have a look, rather than just saying, sorry mate, I don't understand your English, which is something that I wish I could use all the time. What I say to what I email these guys about some of the questions and I obviously give them a different response, but sometimes on a support forum, you have to allow so many different things because we're talking about an international product. The product was developed internationally, but it's also the audience is international. People are interested in this kind of thing all over the world. that's why, because it's a money-making thing from the product point of view, but also some of you guys will develop for people. You're not really interested in running your own products necessarily yourself as a website to earn money. But your clients might ask you for something like this at some day, and hopefully you'll consider this. Or you might be interested in actually looking at making money by developing this product for other people. There's lots. We can't keep up with the amount of requests we get. If anything, they're always saying to us, who can we use? You know, the amount of people we get that go off to freelancer and then come back, you know, just, unfortunately it's not a successful route to finding developers, you know, by word of mouth. By meeting people, word of mouth is the best way to find them. And at the end of the day, that's what we need. So we would like you to try, look at, play with it, ask any questions you like from us. We'll be around later. We're not going off anywhere. We'll be around later. If anyone's got any interesting ideas or anything, come and talk to us. We'll be certainly interested in hearing them. The way people make money, really simple. Advertising revenue, which has anyone ever been successful with Google Ads? I've paid for my hosting once. But I
would say makes it fly 1 month.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of time you put into it, the return is just, it's not worth it. All you're doing is basically giving up the key parts of your website to someone else, and that company owns most of the internet anyway. Not that I'm anti. Paid for listings, you're more likely to earn money. You know, to actually get your audience engaged. An affiliate market, I've not really played with affiliate marketing that much. I've got an idea about websites to do with affiliate marketing. I reckon we'll have more out of that than we do with advertising via Google, etc. That's pretty much about it. If anyone's got any questions, you're welcome to ask now, or like I said, we'll be sticking around.
We don't have time for questions, so they'll have to be in the blog later.
Brilliant.
But,
That sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.